Hello, everybody. This is a Lamley showcase. I'm outside once again. There's no way I'm going inside right now. I am in Arizona, as you know from the wagon video that I did. This time, though, instead of going out on location, I thought I would just stay here on the patio here at my father-in-law's house. We are here visiting him in Tucson, Arizona, Ms. Lamley and I thought, why not chill here on the patio to go through the latest Hot Wheels ID. I actually have the B case that came from our friends at A&J Toys, and that came a few weeks ago, and then the C case models, which came from our friends at Wheel Collectors. So this is a double partnership, A&J Toys and Wheel Collectors, and there's been a lot of interest in this C mix because of these two models for sure. The Bugatti Chiron is here, and this Nissan Skyline R34 just came out of nowhere with the HKS deco, and we will look at that. But before we get to that C mix, I'm going to move these over here, and we're going to open up this case. I've got the game, and we'll talk about where ID is going as we go along. But we're going to start with the little unboxing of the B case because I haven't done that yet. Like I said, this came from A&J Toys, so let's open it up. Brought all this stuff with me to Arizona because I figured, why not if I have a little bit of time? By the way, I have to tell you this because this is hilarious. These are already opened, and I had these sent by Wheel Collectors. This is just a little side story. I had these sent by Wheel Collectors. They said, we've got them. Do you want them? And I said, yeah, but I'll be in Arizona. So I said, just send them to my father-in-law's house. So I gave them the address. They sent it, but I forgot to tell my father-in-law, but it was in my name, but you know, he just gets a package. Are you really going to look at the name? He opened them up. He had no idea what these were. He wasn't really looking at, I guess, the car or something, or maybe he pulled it out this way because this is what it looks like. And he thought he got somebody's box of disposable cameras. How great is that? And he cut these open and he's like, but there's a car in here. And he was just so confused. He knows I do this blog thing, but didn't put two and two together. Why would he think that it was a package for me? And thought he got a box full of disposable cameras. I hope he's okay with me telling the story. I thought it was hilarious. And then I saw the box when we got there, and I said, oh, this came. I forgot to tell you. He goes, yeah, I thought they were disposable cameras. He used to be quite the aficionado of the disposable camera, and he's done a nice job figuring out his iPhone as we help him with that. All right, let's look at the B case. And we'll just go through these very, very quickly. I'm going to push this back a little bit, and we're obviously going to have some extras. Aston Martin Vantage GT3. Now, I'm already pulling these out again. Oops. Don't want to drop my disposable cameras. Aston Martin Vantage GT3. This was made when Hot Wheels ID was all about the track, the game, and everything else. So they used this casting, which had the upslope chin. We'll take a look at it. But as you notice, and a lot of people have noticed, these new models, like the Chiron and the GTR, don't have the upslope chin because Hot Wheels ID is actually moving to the track is still available, but they got plenty of track cars. There's a second one. They got plenty of track cars, but now they're like, we can really cater to the collectors as well. So you're going to see more models. This is another one that was made for Hot Wheels ID, but you're going to see more models without the upslope chin. Many of you have noticed that. That's on purpose, because they know that collectors don't necessarily like it as much, and you can still use this as like a checklist, a way to keep track of what models you have and don't have. But you don't have to they don't have to have that weird like track compatibility on it. Audi R8 LMS. This is the second version. The first version was a Target exclusive, right? So here's the second color of that one. Another one of those. I always want to figure out what to do with extras. You know what I typically have been doing lately. Oh, a lot of extras of the Aston Martin, another Audi. So it looks like we're going 3 of each in these. Here is the Joker Shaker limited run. I think they're all limited run collectibles, right? And like I said, we'll open these up as we go. But Joker Shaker. Obviously, there's a theme there. I'll put this over here. With the Joker Shaker, we have 2 of those, so it is the Bone Shaker, just done as the Joker, which I imagine means, we'll open it up, that the Joker's face is there on the front. 2016 Mercedes AMG GT3, looking cool in green. Honda Civic Type R. Now, did we have this in the, I don't know if we had this in the first mix. I don't think there's any repeats, right? We had the Lamborghini and a couple of others. So Honda Civic Type R. This is also new. I don't think it has the upslope chin. It's obviously based on the basic model, as all of these are. Another Civic. And the Driftsta. This is unlicensed, of course, but kind of made to look like a drifter car. Got Cody's name there. That's Gary Cody Miller, probably one of the designers, a few others. And then let's look at these last few. I'm assuming we'll see some extras of some of the models we've already seen. Yep, Mercedes. Another Mercedes. I think that makes 3 of those. And then I'm assuming maybe a Civic. Oh, and a Driftsta. So we only had 2 of the Joker shakers. I'm going to move this out of the way. And we'll open up the others. So we want to do a Driftsta, a Honda Civic, a Mercedes. Driftsta done. Honda done. Mercedes done. We want to do a Joker shaker. This Mercedes is done. We want to do the Audi R8. And we want to do the Aston Martin. And I think the rest, yep, we can just move off to the side. All right. So this will be the B case models, then we'll get to the C case models, and we're going to get them all input into the game slash database slash whatever. All right, so I'm set up. I've actually got my, I actually brought my little, whatever they call that thing. I'll know once I get here. But I opened up the game. It's obviously needed an update because it's got the 6 new C-Case cars to input. We'll get to those. We've got the garage here. I've got to get this activated. The portal, that's what it's called. So I got to turn that on and get the portal all set up. I think we've got that. And let's just take a look very quickly at the packaging. And then I'm just going to use, to save some time, we'll just get all of the cars out. So the packaging remains the same. We'll look at the same with the C-Case models as well. So same box. Obviously, we see the chase cars that still run. By the way, when you see this, don't you think we're going to see ID chase maybe of that one of these days? I have to assume we will. Mercedes AMG GT3. Obviously, there's the you can use that. You can see the window on the chip, and of course, if we cut it open, if you don't mistake them as a disposable camera, and you're my father-in-law, you just open it after you buy it, and then of course take out the model. We'll get to looking at it here in a little bit, and then just get it inputted in the portal, and it shows on up. All right, see, pretty easy. So we'll get through the packaging, but now we got to get these cars open. All right, we are ready. I've got the Mercedes. You can take a look at it on the screen. Pretty fantastic in green. I remember a charcoal version, but maybe there's been a second one. Because I don't have these in front of me, I don't remember how many more, but this is a cool casting one that I definitely collect. Let's have a look at the model itself. In this kind of, what would you call it, Hot Wheels ID Spectraflame, I think it's very similar to the Spectraflame paint that's used for Hot Wheels for Super Treasure Hunts. I don't know if it's exactly the same, but it does seem very similar. I have said this before, I'm a big fan of the ID wheels as far as track compatibility and all that kind of stuff. I think they're very, very cool. Kind of a cool style, very unique to the models. And in this case, plain black, which I think looks really kind of cool. And of course, because these get the full premium treatment, you get front, rear, everything on it. I think these models are very cool. I am a big fan of these. Well, let's just keep going, and let's get to the Driftsta right here. Let's get it inputted into the. Maybe I have to hit continue here, right, to get back to the garage, and then we'll put the Driftsta in. There we go. Downloading the car data. It is in my garage. It is also in my collection. Looking very cool this way. Send it. Jared, you know who you are. You might be happy to see that. Send it on there with the Driftsta. That's very, very cool. And the model itself, dig it as well. Showing off the cool ID wheels for sure. Send it deco, of course. Remember, they match these perfectly. So the deco is exactly the same from the model to the I don't know, the digital version, I guess, is exactly the same, which I think is kind of cool. Drift is a cool casting as far as unlicensed go. We'll go ahead and put that there. I do like on that Mercedes how they didn't put anything on it. I actually really dig that. All All right, Honda Civic. Let's get this one. Let's continue, get the Drifta all in, put it in the garage. Let's get the Civic put in there as well. Spectraflame red, plain. Now you can see again, you're seeing, while we saw some real collectible models for sure, you're seeing the collectors being noticed, right? A little bit more than maybe at the beginning. Obviously it was all about the game. It was all about play on the track when it was first introduced. I remember, I was on the advisory board there, and that was definitely the aim. And I mean, Hot Wheels still always will be about the kids, right? But collectors are no joke, and it just seems to me like I just don't know what the future of ID is. I think it's safe to say it didn't launch as well as they had hoped, but it's a cool little side kind of collecting, I don't know, little side project or something. It's just like it runs parallel to all the other stuff, the premium we collect, the basics that we collect. It fits nicely in the middle, and I think this digital component is very, very cool, to the point that if it were cheap enough to produce, make every basic have a chip in it. Obviously I don't think we're close to that yet, but it could just be a normal element, and you could always have this and be easy to do checklists. Anyway, I just see, and we'll look at the car now itself. I just see this kind of the future of ID, if there is a future of it, is more collectible type cars that, still very playable, way to create the digital version of it, and still create cool cars that, I mean, come on, how many of you are not gonna, if you're a collector of that Type R, are gonna ignore that one? It's so cool in the Spectraflame red with those wheels. So anyway, and then you've got these models that we'll be looking at in a little bit. All right, let's get to the Joker Shaker. Yeah, oh man, they've done a number on that Joker face. Look at that. That truly is the Joker Shaker. Moving on in. Looking pretty cool. All right, I talked a little bit too much on that last one with the Civic. Look at the top with the ha ha ha, and I'm assuming, yeah, it's there. I'm in the shade, so I know the lighting is a little bit different, but let's take a look at the Joker Shaker. Really digging that one. Not a big, I like Batman, of course, but I don't collect the Batman cars. But I think if they're going to do them, make them creative, and I think that one is super, super cool. All right, moving on. Let's get to this Audi R8 LMS. Into the garage it goes. Now this one does have the upslope chin because this is back in the track era, and I mean, even in the rendering, it kind of looks a little goofy. I think, at least for now, I think Hot Wheels can say, look, put it on a unlicensed model, we'll make them track compatible, but on these, unless, I don't know, it just, I'd even say for the future of ID, just modify it. I don't think that's going to happen. Let's take a look at the car itself. Like it in this color, like it with the yellow and red trim on the wheels. Black rims, of course. Don't know if this is based on a particular racing deco, but it does look cool. Obviously, we've seen this in premium as well. They do that. They do pull in some premium castings. We'll see that with the BRZ, which I think is awesome too. And make them for Hot Wheels ID. All right, let's continue on that. And let's do the last one from the B case, the Aston Martin Vantage GT3. This casting, let's be honest. Well, let's put it in the system first. There she is in cool color combination. Love the colors. The yellow trim, the charcoal coloring, like the gunmetal. Wheels look fantastic as well. But let's be honest, this casting is a disaster. It was introduced when Hot Wheels was just on this everything has to be track compatible kick. And look at that front bumper, which can adjust. Look at the big rear wheels. Look at the front. That doesn't even look like an Aston Martin. Even from the front, it looks a little goofy. You can kind of get a sense that it is, but man, if just this casting could be redone one day, it just would be so much better. I like the Aston Martins, but I don't like that one. All right, so the B case models are in. We'll hit continue here. Garage is set. You can go back. I'm trying to remember what was last one. Yeah, we had the Z. We had, oh yeah, the RS 200. Lamborghini. Yeah, there were some cool ones in that last one, and then of course all these others. I don't think I have all of the ID cars in this, but I think we're doing pretty good, but let's get to that C case.